Hey guys, it's Britt. Tonight I'm here to share with you my updated thoughts on the Jimmy Snow, Gabbie Hanna, Rachel Oates situation. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so like I said, this is my updated thoughts video. So if you didn't see part one, which included my initial thoughts, please watch that first and then come back to this video. I will link it in my description box. That way you're just fully informed on what the situation is, why I'm talking about it for the second time, and sort of why my thoughts have unfolded this way. So like I said, watch that one, then jump back over here if you didn't see part one. But if you clicked on this video, there's a big chance that you know exactly what's going on. So Jimmy Snow took a couple weeks and he came out with his video, and I'll throw the thumbnail right here. I believe the title was I Messed Up, you know, taking accountability. And I will always give credit to people that take accountability. You know, you get called out on something and you do something wrong and you take accountability. And, you know, especially if it's a really obvious mess up, sometimes, you know, I do think that at times people can be a bit harsh on YouTubers. We all make mistakes, we all mess up here and there. And sometimes I do think that small errors are made to be much bigger than they actually are. But with something like this, it was a pretty noticeable screw up that he made. And so, you know, credit goes to him for listening to, you know, the internet, because I would say just YouTube, but this definitely spilled over onto Twitter and I'm sure Instagram and other platforms too. So when I saw this video come out, I immediately wanted to watch it. And I immediately also went to the comments because I wanted to see if the comments were on, and they were. And as of filming this video, they are still on. I don't know if they're being heavily monitored or if comments are being deleted. I can't speak to that portion of it, but the comments are still on. They were not on the original video, and that was one of the, you know, sort of bigger things that people got upset about. When you take someone's voice away on your channel, they're gonna have a voice on someone else's channel. So it would be better to just leave your comments open. Obviously, I'm never going to encourage really hateful, vile, mean, bullying type comments, but just allow people to have their voice. Like, you know, we all will be there if we haven't been there already, where we have a mistake or screw up. Just let people leave their comments, you know, unless they are stepping out of line or crossing into things that shouldn't be left in a comment section. That's completely different. But if they're just saying, hey, this is wrong and this is how I feel about it, just leave the comment. Like, if it's bothering you that much, don't look at the comments. Post the video and just let it go. But if you cut off the comments, they're going to have other places to leave their comments: Reddit, other YouTube channels, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. One of the comments that I noticed very early on when I started to listen to his video was that people were criticizing him for taking too long to come out with this second video. And that's one of the first things I'm going to say I completely disagree with. I think that it was about 2 weeks in between each video. And to me, I don't think that that's too long. I think that when it comes to putting a timeline on someone recognizing their mistake, sorting through their emotions, coming out with a second video, everyone sort of unpacks criticism at a different rate. And I could only imagine to have a following the size of his, that's a lot of criticism. You know, if you're a channel my size, I can sort through that in a few days, a week, maybe even 10 days. But I mean, my God, he has so many subscribers and so many different people leaving him comments. And I'm sorry, comments when the comments were still on, but then you have to consider DMs, tweets, emails. So it's a lot to sort through. So I'm not going to criticize him for taking too long, because I don't think that it was too long. I think 2 weeks is completely acceptable in my eyes to come out with this video. And so, yeah, that was one of the first things that I saw. I wanted to mention it. Also, speaking of the comments in this video, the second video, Jimmy decided to, make his point clear that he cut off the comments on that original video because there were bad narratives being spread in his comment section, and he didn't feel like he could respond to everyone to set the story straight. And when I was sorting through the comments in that original video before they were cut off, I didn't see any super dangerous narratives being spread. I saw a lot of fair criticism. I saw people that were stating that they were unsubscribing because they no longer wanted to support his channel. And I just saw criticism, Now, granted, there could have been some really nasty comments that I just didn't get to. There were many at the time when I was sorting through them. But as far as bad narratives, I don't know where this came from. Narratives is one of those words that is overused in his video, in my opinion. But either way, we all have words that we completely overuse, so I'm not going to fault him for that. But as far as him saying I cut off comments because of bad narratives, I don't know what kind of bad narratives were being spread, but maybe I overlooked it. I don't know. As far as the blocking spree that he went on, he did acknowledge that. And let's just talk about blocking for a second. I've talked at length about blocking people, creating echo chambers, parasocial relationships, toxic YouTubers, YouTubers that can't take criticism, YouTubers that refuse to take criticism. I have talked about a lot of these things on my channel at length, so I'm not going to talk about it for a really long time right now. But when it comes to blocking people, I always feel like the fair rule to have is that if someone is speaking about family members, children, spreading really bad rumors, like, I don't know. Here's an example. When Brianna Kay, who is a family vlogger, when she and her husband up and went to Hawaii, initially there was a rumor being spread that her husband was going into drug rehab because he was addicted to pills. That is so damaging, and that is so wrong to create that rumor, spread that rumor, advertise that rumor. So there are certain things where, yeah, if I saw that, you're getting blocked from my channel. I just talked about people that have come to my channel and talked about my weight. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with certain things being said on my channel. So I understand where blocking people definitely makes sense. However, if you are blocking people that are saying, I'm unhappy with you, I'm unsubscribing, and that's it, then that's not really fair either. But the other side of that coin is that I've also noticed, and this is just with my own personal experience, is that there are some people on the internet that will decide that they hate you so much. They're watching your detractors videos. They're part of the hate club. There are those select few people that will leave you a really nasty, vile, mean comment. You'll block them from your channel because of that comment that they left. And then what they do is they turn around and leave you a constructive comment, something along the lines of, I used to really like your channel, but I don't like the direction that you're going, whatever. And then their comment doesn't show up. They run around saying, oh, I was blocked. I can't leave comments. She's creating an echo chamber. He's creating an echo chamber. However, what nobody else knows is that person 3 weeks ago or 6 months ago left a comment alleging something about an ED, talking about family members, totally stepping out of line. That's why they were blocked, but they're spreading the narrative. That's an example of spreading a narrative that they were leaving a constructive criticism comment and it didn't show up, so you're creating an echo chamber. So I'm not saying that every subscriber is on the up and up, but with this situation, I do believe that the majority of people were leaving him actual constructive criticism. I don't think that it was the situation that I talked about a second ago. There might have been a couple like that, but there are people who have watched Jimmy from his Dear Mr. Atheist days. I found Jimmy because of Girl Defined, his Girl Defined videos. So there are a lot of people that have supported him for a really long time, and this was just icing on the cake. They had recently lost interest. They didn't like the fact that he can't take criticism. They don't care for his content anymore. And this situation closed that door. So they felt like they wanted to announce their departure. And some YouTubers say it's not an airport, you don't need to announce your departure. And while I partially understand that, if it is someone who has supported you for a year, 18 months, 3 years, and if they're upset about it, then in my opinion, they should be able to voice whatever they want to on their way out. It is what it is. Oh, also in this video, Jimmy does admit that he sent those messages to Rachel Oates in the heat of the moment. He shouldn't have sent those DMs. And, I think that this could also be a lesson for not only YouTubers, but everybody. I know long before I had a YouTube channel, at times I could be very reactionary, especially when it comes to if I have something to say, if I have a point that I want to make, I could be reactionary. And I think that I've gotten a lot better with that over, call it the last 5 or 6 years. But when you are participating in a public platform like YouTube or Twitter, it is important to not be reactionary. And I have had my own lessons in this, where you can't just see something, turn on the camera, send the DM, send the email, and get upset and say things that you might regret, or not take the time to look into the situation because you are so emotional about it. So I understand the heat of the moment thing. At the same time, I also think that it could act as a reminder for not only YouTubers in a public place, but also people in general. I know that could be a valuable lesson, to me, whether or not I had a YouTube channel. So I don't think that people are coming down too hard on him for sending it quickly, because I think that we can all relate to it. But I also think in the same breath, it could act as a reminder for people that are creating content. Like, the general public isn't typically going to have their Twitter DMs, Instagram DMs, or emails shown in a video. Whereas YouTubers, you never know who's going to show your DMs or who's going to, come at you sideways and show things that you've sent or said or whatever. So either way, that was that. I'm glad that he admitted it, because I think that we've all been guilty of that at one point or another. The next thing he goes into is how he says drama channels are talking about this situation and everyone's using his name for clicks and views. Let's unpack that. I haven't seen any major drama channels discussing this topic. I've seen people who have been subscribers of either Rachel or Jimmy talking about it in a commentary sense, but I've not seen any drama channels covering this. You guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I literally, and even the people that I've seen talk about this, it's been a very small group of people. Now, the Gabbie Hanna part of this kind of trifecta is something completely different. Everyone talks about Gabbie Hanna. Commentary channels, drama channels, tea channels, every channel under the sun talks about Gabbie Hanna, because there's just so much to talk about with her. Frankly, I'm exhausted from even seeing her name on YouTube. I think that the mental gymnastics that I've talked about before with her, it's just too much. I've unplugged and I'm done. So unless she does something just like super wild, I mean, the things that she has said and done, I don't think that they can't be apologized for. In my opinion, she doesn't deserve the platform that she has. But that's here nor there. So as far as him saying that people are using his name for clicks and views, I think that that is completely inaccurate. And I wanted to confirm that myself, I haven't seen any drama channels talk about this situation. But if you have, please correct me in the comments down below. So next, let's talk about him and Gabbie Hanna. So he says that he doesn't want to be guilty by association. He doesn't believe in that, where if you are friendly or if you're an acquaintance with somebody else who's problematic, that should not reflect on you. I disagree, because when you are on a public platform like YouTube, the people that you associate yourself with matter. They do matter. So I've been very careful myself with aligning myself with other YouTubers or talking about other YouTubers unless I feel really strongly about that person. I am not going to come out and say that I support them or, tell my subscribers to go subscribe to them. Like, I learned my lesson last year with Without a Crystal Ball. I had plugged her channel when I was doing a Get Ready With Me when all the Shane Dawson stuff was going on, and I quickly realized that she was toxic, problematic, a pathological liar, and in my opinion an all-around basket case of a channel. So I had to retract my recommendation and also explain why I stopped supporting her. That was the video that sort of put my channel into the algorithm, and I gained a lot of notoriety, and a lot of views from that video. However, because of that situation, I made the decision to no longer outright support a lot of YouTubers on my channel. There are a few that I have vocalized my support for. As far as the guilty by association thing, I think that also comes in where if you feel good about a YouTuber and you're supporting them and you're vocal about it, and they actually do something on the same line as what Gabbie Hanna has done, it might be a good idea to, let it be known that you don't support these actions. And, this is how you feel. There have been other YouTubers earlier that I vocalized that I no longer support them because I want people to know where I stand on things. And if I, at one point, supported someone and I no longer support them, I'm going to let my audience know. However, the other way that I've done my best to control that is to not, constantly advertise for other YouTubers. I just don't think that it's the way that I want to do things on my channel. But it does really bother me that he is still supporting Gabbie Hanna. There have been so many things come out about Gabbie where she is not just bitchy, sassy, problematic, a little toxic. Gabbie Hanna is an actual, in my opinion, someone with a very, very dark and twisted personality. And that is not someone that I would ever want to support, because to a certain degree, who you support and who you are friends with does reflect on your own moral compass. So I'll leave that there, but I will finish it out with the fact that he mentions that he's only talked to Gabbie Hanna twice this year, like that's supposed to kind of sweep something under the rug. I have friends that I'm very, very close with, and I've only talked to them twice this year, or maybe even not since last year, but I am very, very close with them. So I don't think that you have to talk to your friend once a week to consider them a very, very close friend, in my opinion. The last thing that I'm going to say about him and Gabbie as far as their friendship goes is, why did he choose Gabbie over Rachel? If he was so close with Rachel and they were, good friends and all of this kind of stuff, I don't understand what Gabbie was doing in order for him to basically pick Gabbie over Rachel. That part I don't understand. One of two things is happening with this Jimmy and Gabbie friendship. Either in the original video, he made it out to be that he was closer with her than he actually was for popularity, clout, I don't know. Or the exact opposite. I don't know. One of the other things that really bothered me is, to my knowledge, Jimmy has not watched Rachel Oates' videos on Gabbie Hanna still. Now, he didn't say that he didn't, but he also didn't use this video as an opportunity to say, I've watched Rachel's videos now to become more informed on what her content in regards to reviewing books is all about. I'm more informed. I get it. I've changed my opinion. This is how I feel now. So to me, I'm a little surprised. If I was him, I would have definitely taken this opportunity to, you know, watch her content. That was part of the big, you know, kind of like the top 5 takeaways of the issues with his first video. You could have taken this time to, bare minimum, watch her videos. Come on. Now, a lot of people are calling him a apologist because of his alignment with Gabbie Hanna. I don't necessarily, in my personal opinion, I don't know if I want to tag him as a apologist. I would call him a sympathizer, and I think that that can still be very problematic and not a good thing to do. But you guys tell me where you stand on that, because I'm, you know, I kind of have one foot in, one foot out. It deeply bothers me that he is still vocal about being friendly, being acquaintances, whatever you want to call it. The fact that you are not condemning Gabbie Hanna's actions, her personality, and her toxicity online, to me, it tells me everything I need to know. Now, I am going to link Jimmy's video in my description box. If you guys have time and you want to watch it to hear it from his own mouth, please do. The video, to me, was very drawn out. It had a lot of words, and I didn't really walk away with a lot more than what I walked in with. I do feel like he is sorry. I can't tell you if it's, you know, a super deep sorrow. I can't tell you if part of the sorrow is because he got called out and now he's recognizing it. Either way, he did apologize, and I am going to give credit where credit is due. But there's 2 things that I still am having a problem with. One, him admitting to not doing the proper research pretty much puts a black cloud over all of his other content for me, where I feel like all of his other content could possibly not be properly researched, and that really bothers me. The second thing is his long record of not accepting criticism. Taking criticism on YouTube is a great trait to have. When you can be called out on something, look at it, dissect it, come back to your community or your platform and say, I screwed this up, I'll do better, and then show that you're doing better in the future. To shut out all criticism, and I understand that YouTubers get bullied, they get harassed, they get stalked. Things can get very, very dark, but that's also part of being a well-versed creator, where you can tell bullying and just bottom feeder idiots versus people who are actually coming to you and want to have the conversation and deliver a little bit of criticism. You can hear them out and you can use it in the future for future content or to correct previous content that you've already posted, either correcting it, removing it, whatever. I've had to do that myself, and I definitely learn from my mistakes, and I am growing, and I think that all of you guys can see that too. I will always accept criticism. I will never accept bullying, hate, or harassment. So either way, those are going to be my updated thoughts on Jimmy Snow. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments section. I'm really curious. What do you guys think about all of this? Do you still support Jimmy? Did you unsubscribe and then resubscribe? Are you going to give it a little bit of time to see kind of how things go in the future? Did you lose interest? I've heard from a lot of you guys that you lost interest a year ago. on his channel. So we all have a different sort of journey on who we support, why we support them, if we stop supporting and then start re-supporting them. You know, and before I close out this video, I also want to say that there have been a few YouTubers that I have aligned myself with, and most recently, Dad Challenge Podcast has had some very, very hateful, harmful, disgusting claims put against him, and I've made 2 videos defending him because I feel like that's right. He doesn't need someone to defend him all the time, but when there is something so vile said about you, I do think that it's important to have people in your corner and have people that are willing to do the right thing. Now, if in the future Josh were to do something that was just totally out of line, I can't take it, he's wrong, I will deliver criticism to him. That's going to be it for now. If you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.